देव देव दीनपाल गोविन्दा कृष्णा देवकी वसुदेव पाल गोविन्दा कृष्णा जय गोविन्दा कृष्णा शकटध्वंस दिव्यपाद गोविन्दा कृष्णा शङ्खचक्र गदाधर श्री गोविन्दा कृष्णा जय गोविन्दा कृष्णा पङ्कजाक्ष पद्मनाभ गोविन्दा कृष्णा पादकमलं शरणं शरणं गोविन्दा कृष्णा जय गोविन्दा कृष्णा देव देव दीनपाल गोविन्दा कृष्णा देवकी वसुदेव बाल गोविन्दा कृष्णा जय गोविन्दा कृष्णा जय गोविन्दा कृष्णा Oh Sajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. While we are busy with the worldly concerns and responsibilities, it is often possible we forget which direction we are going. It is like when you go to a mall to go on a Black Friday. Just previously you would have thanked everybody, and that day you stamp everybody. So when you go to a mall, there are so many things that are on display. Sale 30%, 20%, 40%. Even though if you don't want, you will buy it because it is on sale. So when we are shopping around, if we do not have a shopping list, imagine the plight. You will buy everything that is on discount. If you have a shopping list in your hand, this is what I want to buy, then pretty much you are directed. First this, after that everything else. Is it not true? In the same way, what is your shopping list in life? What is that you want to first achieve before anything else that is attractive, that is compelling your sense organs to indulge? So it is towards that is the teaching of this Guru. As we have been seeing conversation between a teacher and the taught, the student has become an eligible disciple because he has or she has become one who is earning for freedom. And we have been seeing freedom cannot, if there is no freedom, there is no happiness. Freedom is a prerequisite for happiness. Or happiness cannot be if you are not free. Even if you get some amount of joy and happiness or pleasure, it's very transient. So the Guru's role is, somewhere I read such a beautiful statement, it says, Guru's role is not to show you something, but direct you, your attention. You have to see. He will only direct towards the direction in which you have to move. So the shopping list you have to create. What I want. The Guru can only give you a general awareness of why you are caught, why one is bound. So in this context he said, anything that you consider yourself as perceived, anything that is perceived, anything that is experienced by the senses and the mind is anityam. Yadrishyam tad jadam tad vikari. Anything that is perceived, experienced by the senses is part of the matter. It is matter, it is changing, it is subject to decay, death and sorrow. Anything that is not perceived but is Paramatma, Nityam, Akila Loka Sakshi. It is the seer and not the seen. It is the perceiver and not the perceived. It is the knower and not the known. It is the feeler and not the felt. It is the thinker and not the thought. So the attention has to be diverted towards here, within, than being extrovert. And when, as I said in the beginning, when we are so busy with the worldly responsibilities, concerns, care, all the duties, etc., we often forget this. And do not, therefore, think that we will become unproductive, irresponsible by shifting our attention. No, you become more responsible. For you know the purpose. So here he said in the verse number 8, which you have seen, Atma hi nityo akila loka sakshi sayeva jagataha jagadas paramashraya. Evam vijanan sad asat viveki bhavati hasiddha paramarthadarshi. And the teacher continues saying, Ahameva tattvam jagadashrayam yat binnam yadas sarvam avasamatram kudo vayam me paramarthadarshinaha yaham parananda swarupayeva. Kudam vayam me. Why am I afraid? What I am afraid of? We are afraid of that which we are very afraid of losing. Think of it. You are afraid of that which you are afraid of losing. Whether it is a name, fame, power, position, relationship, feeling, any kind of a possession, including ego. I'm afraid somebody will talk ill of me. I'm afraid somebody will say things which I can't bear. I'm afraid that I will lose this. I'm afraid. We are caught up in our own fear. The world doesn't cause fear. If you see a small child, say just 1 year old, it will do anything. You have to be careful. A long time back I saw a movie. It's called That Baby's Day Out. Have you seen that? Is it afraid of anything? It will catch a snake by hand. Because it has no idea what it will do. So when we are of that stage, we are not afraid of anything. That is due to lack of knowledge, innocence, ignorance. So we are afraid of, the child is going at the edge of the building, or it is holding on to the snake, go to the fire and touch it. He is not afraid because it's a lack of knowledge, ignorance. A wise man also is not afraid out of wisdom. The two extremes look alike. A man of knowledge also not afraid. Why? Because he says, after what is going to die? This body? I am not this body anyway. Not that he will go and hold on to the snake or go and jump into the fire or anything, but he is not afraid of losing anything. So slowly we have to, I am not saying that you will be able to practice it or any of us will be able to practice this amount of fearlessness at this stage. But we have to grow up to that point. Because the fear is the one which makes us so feel insecure, of angry, upset, and also feeling constantly bound, limited, curtailed, sorrowful. So as I said in the last session, the great Mahatmas, the great masters are those who exhibit and demonstrate fearlessness. Kuto vayam me paramarthadarshinaha. Why? Because sad asat viveki. Clearly seeing what is sat, what is real and what is not real. What is real and what is not real. And so long as we hold on to something which is unreal, we will be afraid because the fact that it is unreal. Because it is subject to disappearance. The nature of unreal is what? That is there now and not there later. It appears to be here but not there. It appears to be true now and not later. Your thought, I'm afraid I will be thinking like that. Because the thought will be there for a while and after that will disappear. I'm afraid I will be unhappy. I'm afraid I'll get angry. Why? All fear is only due to holding on to something unreal. Because you know that you are going to lose it. What is permanent can never give you fear. So when you clearly see what is real and what is not real, and clearly see that because I am holding on to what is not real, I am living in fear. When I move my attention or shift my attention to what is real, you immediately understand the freedom. The thought is unreal. Hold on to it, you will be afraid. And the consciousness, awareness which is eliminating that thought, which is aware of that thought, it is permanent. It is not going to go anywhere. Hold on to the real that which is the background, paramashraya of all, then there is no fear. When you are standing on the ground, you are not afraid. When you are going in a car, you are afraid, right? Of course, nowadays you cannot stand in the road also, especially in Southern California. Earthquake also will be there. But when you are on a place where it is stable and permanent, there is no fear. But when you are top of the mountain or top of a building or top of something, or something which is moving, you are afraid. Why? Because you do not know what will happen next moment. So that is why when you go in a flight, do you check up whether this pilot is really driving or flying or is sleeping? Don't you have faith? I hope that fellow knows how to fly. I hope he is awake. It is said that one flight crash landed. Crash landed means very rough landing, not crash landing, rough landing. So usually the captain comes out and stands there to thank people, right? Usually they do in the flight. So when he came out, somebody is also talking along with me. Who's that? I'm afraid. Anyway. Somebody is seriously giving a discourse behind. So when the captain was standing there thanking everybody, he was thinking somebody will complain. So everybody left. Finally one old lady just walked now, because she was not able to walk fast. She came very slowly, last person. She looked at the captain and said, "Did we land ourselves or we were shot down?" Yesterday I was coming from Phoenix. One child was constantly crying, because I think they get a earache or something. Continuously crying, just behind me. So I just, what can you do? Poor thing, crying and crying and crying. Then, in Orange County, the landing has to be very, very sharp. The child became absolutely quiet. No sound. So the lady behind me, the one who was holding the child, said, "He needs a shock like this, and then only he will keep quiet." So when you are in a stable ground which is not moving, you are not afraid. So if anything is unsteady, unreal, insecure, subject to be lost, I am afraid. I am afraid of my health. I am afraid of my beauty. I am afraid of my hair. Because it will fall away. It will go away. So holding on to something unreal, that is constant fear. Don't we say we want a lasting relationship? Why? Because it's subject to be lasting. Losing, sorry. You want a lasting, not losing relationship. So therefore the Guru says, shift your attention from the unreal to the real. Asatoma. Complete. Why? From the asat, go to the sat. Tamasoma. Why? From the darkness to the light. Darkness is nothing but absence of light. Mrityorma amrudankam. From the death to the deathlessness. So where I can be fearless and happy only when I move from the unreal to the real. From the death to immortality. From the darkness to the light. Don't you say, I am afraid of light. Nobody says that. I am afraid of darkness. Now those who want to live in darkness, they may be afraid of light. So in the continuing his teaching here, he says in the verse number 10, Moodastu ragi vishayeshu nityam Vivekinasteshu viragayeva Ascharyametat kalu tattvaveta vairagyabhavepyaduna viraktaha. Mudaha, a man of dull-wittedness, stupidity, is one. Ragi. He is a man of attachment. Vishayeshu, in objects which are not permanent. Nityam. Nityam Mudaha. Nityam Ragi. He is a constantly a stupid individual. Why? He is holding on to something which is outside him, other than him, which is not true. Vishayeshu Nityam Ragi Mudaha. Vivekinaha, on the other hand, a man of discrimination is one. Teshu means in Vishayeshu, in those things, Virag. He is always dispassionate. Dispassionate does not mean hatred. Many people think like that. And unfortunately, people who say that they are Viragi or men of dispassion, they look very sad. Sadhu, I am Sadhu. A sadhu should be happy. And the happiness shows that you don't want to go there anywhere near that person. And others will say, poor fellow, become sadhu. Many people came to me and said, Swamiji, what's wrong? What happened in your life that you became like this? Something seriously went wrong or what? You become very sympathetic. In fact, the other way around, I am very sympathetic about all of us around me. Kya hua? Poor thing, became sadhu. Yeah, that's the perception. Because unfortunately, until I met our Swami Chinmaya, I also had the same kind of a perception. Those who are good for nothing, cannot do anything else, failure in life, become sadhu. Until I saw a man who is postgraduate in law and science, a well-known journalist, successful individual, happy that he left everything. So I totally, my mindset changed. What is it? How is that possible? So a viragi, a man of dispassion, is not a person of hatred. He is not that angry and upset about the world. On the other hand, he has so much love for the world that he wants to make sure that everybody get out of their own mood above. It's their own stupidity. Mudasturagi vishayeshu nityam vivekinasteshu viragayev. Dispassion indeed is the nature of discrimination. Now look at in your own life. Is it not that which you are holding on so tightly and closely during your younger years, your own friends or your own things, that have you not moved on? When you had an opportunity to come to this part of the world, or when you have moved on to your education and things like that, is it not that, okay, this is no more necessary for me, let me move on? Is it not true? I do hope so. Until you found Facebook. Go back and find out your friends again. And you moved on. Why? Because that's one stage of life, it's over. Then another stage of life where I have a different kind of responsibility. And that also has to get over. Don't hold on to it. Move on. So Viveka is where you clearly see what is the priority right now. And what is my priority for the next 10 years? Is it not at the end of some point of time I should be happy without reason? Vivekinaha means he is not happy because of things. Our Gurudev used to say, don't love because, love in spite of. Because people around you may be good sometime, they may not be good sometime. They may do things good for you, they don't do something good for you sometime. A true wise person is he who behaves the same way to a person who has nothing to do with him. No good he will do. but yet he will have the same kind of behavior to a strange person also. Why? Because he wants nothing from anybody. That is wisdom. We change our behavior with people to people because we have every relationship is a commercial relationship. Now what do I get from this person? What do I get from this person? Mudasturahi vishayeshu nityam vivekinasteshu virage. Thing is because since he doesn't seek anything from anyone or any situation, any object, here the teacher says, Ascharyamedat kalutattva veta, a man of such knowledge is such a wonder. Why? Vairagya bhave api aduna virakta. Even he is dispassionate about dispassion itself. Usual dispassion is, I want nothing from this. I do not want this. It has nothing to do with me. I have no more interest in this. This is one thing. He who sees everything is the same, why do you want to reject anything? See, like when you go to sleep, where do you go to sleep? In your own bed, right? In your own home. And then at that time when you have a deep desire to go to sleep, have you not become Parama Vairagi? Supremely dispassionate. Your wife you've given up. Your husband you've given up. Your children you've given up. Your house you've given up. Even the key that you have kept in your pocket, which is the locker, the key to the locker in which you have kept all your jewelries, given up. Your makeup you have given up. Why? Because at that time you do not find anything else is interesting. You have reached a point where I want Ananda of Sushupti, meaning the sleep Ananda I want. The joy of sleep I want. Nothing else is important to me at this point. So you are not giving up because you are hating that or you feel unhappy about it. You are it's called restless about things. No, that is not important right now. And tomorrow, next day you go and when you wake up, you have everything there. If somebody tells you if you go back to sleep and nothing will be there afterwards, will you go to sleep? So in the same way, a man of wisdom is one, he looks at the world and says, I derive no happiness, really intrinsic happiness out of these things. I interact with them, but not caught in them. I see all of them the same way, and therefore neither hatred nor love. They are what they are. They can give limited amount of experiences to me, fine. But once I have found my own joy within, there is nothing to hate, nothing to get rid of. Let it be there wherever it is. So even dispassion which is apparently look like moving away, he doesn't. Yogaratova, Bogaratova. That's what Shankaracharya says. Whether he is with the company of people or without the company of people. He is doing yoga or boga. He is just happy. So from dispassion also he becomes dispassionate. He doesn't practice dispassion. He grows above that. He has grown above the need for being caught, above the need for objects around him. It is like, when you go to Kashi or any other place. Recently we went. So you are supposed to give up something. I told you about that, right? I recently gave up sweet. I won't tell you which one. It so happened, right on the day I have given up, for the next 3 meals, I got the same sweet on my table. Providence. What do you call that? Providence. Straight in front of me. I looked at it. I don't need you anymore. I was conversing with that. So others said, Swamiji, whom are you talking? No, don't worry about it. It's between me and him. So when you see it, you may recall the experiences, all that you had, pleasurable joy with that thing. But now, I don't need it. It's not that I hate it or anything. It's given up. It's grown beyond. I don't need this anymore in my life. So somebody pointed out one little piece. I said, next birth. Agle janam mein dekhenge. Abhi nahi. So it is a question of growing up, not giving up. So a man of discrimination grows constantly. He is constantly evolving. And that is where you find he is not hatred towards the world. He is not angry about the world. He is not upset about the world. He is gone beyond that. So, vairagya bhave api, even that vairagya bhava, the attitude of dispassion is dispassionate. That is why such a man of wisdom can give love to everyone equally. Because he doesn't segment it, okay, these people while these people I don't. We do that discrimination because we have something to gain from this set of people, or they have nothing to gain out of these people. Or I have to gain out of this situation I don't gain anything out of it. Such a discrimination of likes and dislikes is also not there. So that is why Krishna says, Ragadvesha viyuktaistu vishayan indriyaicharan atmavashyer videyatma prasadam adhigacchati. A man gets peace when he develops this going beyond the likes and dislikes, even while interacting in the world. That is why in the next verse he says, Dvaitam yada veda bhavastadaiva rago viragaha tadaham mameti leenam pare brahmani manasam yada kadam pravrittischa kadam nivrittihi yada dvaitam tada vedabhava. Such a beautiful statement. Yada means when there is dvaitam, duality, tada, then vedabhava, then differences. Wherever there is duality, there is the difference. I am different from you, then there is a vedabhava. I and you are two different people, then there is a difference. That is a Krishna. In Upanishad it is said, Edasmin udaramantaram kurude adatasya vayam bhavati. Even a little difference you make between you and the world, then there is fear. Difference will create fear. Think about it. I am different from you means you are potentially, you can hurt me. Potentially you can hurt me. Because if I am different, you are different from me, I can own you, I can disown you, you can own me, you can disown me, you can hurt me. All these things are possible. That's why when two people are in love, oh, you and I are one and the same, one soul in two bodies. Afterwards what happened, that is a story. There is a history there. Where there is duality, there is difference. Yada vedaha tada, yada dvaidam tada veda. Dvaidam yada veda bhavastadaiva. Where there is duality, there is difference. Ragaha viragaha. Then there is attachment and dispassion, attachment, detachment. Tata aham mamedi, mine and yours. Aham, mama, mine, I, mine. All these things because there is duality, there is difference. Pare brahmani yada leenam manasam. When the mind has become merged in that oneness, pare brahmani, that supreme oneness, leenam manasam yada, when the mind has completely merged there, kadam pravrittihi, kadam nivrittihi. Where there is no extrovertedness or introvertedness. See, symbolically, when you see Bhagavan Shiva sitting in deep meditation, what does that mean? Kaivalya Bhava. I am alone. Nobody else is there in this world. I am. When Bhagavan Shiva is sitting there in deep meditation, he has folded the entire world into himself. I alone am. There is nothing other than me exists in this world. Sitting in deep meditation. Because nobody can disturb him, because there is nothing to disturb him. Nothing exists for him. Whereas you see Krishna dancing about, laughing about, going, he says, I am everything. You see the difference? Sarvam Krishnamayam Vasudeva Sarvamiti. So one looks like introvert, another looks like extrovert. Both are same. Why? One says, other than me there is nothing. Other says, everything is me. Both are in great bliss. One is bliss in his own being. Another is blissful with every being. The symbolism should be understood properly. They are not two different people, two different manifestations. It is two different ways of looking at the same thing. I alone am. Other than me, there exists nothing. Brahmaiva idam sarvam. I am the one single presence of Brahman. I am alone that. In deep meditation, he remains undisturbed by anything, because nothing else is there to disturb him. Whereas Krishna was laughing around, jumping around, going around, and moving around, and doing everything, says, I am everything. In everything I see myself. So, joy that experienced as the Krishna Bhava is the same joy that is in Shiva Tattva. So, Kadam Pravrittihi, Kadam Nivrittihi. Where is extrovertedness? Where is introvertedness? Dvaitam yada bhavas Dvaitam yada veda bhavas tadaiva rago viragaha tadaham amiti Leenam pare brahmani manasam yada kadam pravrittihi kavadam nivrittihi. Think about it. You will understand. Oh, Thanksgiving. The next Sunday we do not have. But that's a time to reflect. So, on Sunday at 9 o'clock, next Sunday, you should take up the book and read. Don't say chutti, holiday. So, read through what we have done so far. It's only some 10, 15 pages, 20 pages maybe, 20 pages. Read that and realize that what is said as the teaching here, such a beautiful line of thinking. So you will be in touch with the knowledge here. Otherwise, when I meet you on December 2nd, you are fresh slate. Cleaned. So we will see the text. I begin. You say, which text? Don't come up with such kind of a clean mind. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti 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 hari om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Happy holidays to all of you.